right. So
it's been over a year that
Yes.
we've been here.
it's been over 8 weeks since we made a video.
Yes.
So we thought
Or posted a video.
Posted a
I've made
video.
lots, but editing has been very slow.
we've basically our time has been spent figuring out how to run the store. So
Yep.
once we got the renovations done for that, we we're learning how to run the store. It's taking a little more time, and that's okay.
Yes.
Right?
We're finding our flow
Yeah.
of what works for us for running the shop, in like just the running of the shop and the back end of it, like
Yeah.
financials, bookkeeping, all of that.
Getting all those things together takes
Yeah.
a lot more
Yeah.
organization than we than we thought. So
And
we're
that we had.
and that we
Yeah.
have. So we're
Yeah.
putting this together. Anyway, so now we wanted to say it has been 1 year,
Yeah.
just over 1 year since we bought the building, and we wanted to do a little wrap up of what have we done since we've acquired the building.
Yeah.
What are the main projects we've done? What have we accomplished? And then what do we plan on accomplishing in the next year?
Yeah. What's next? And
What is the new building? No, we're not doing the new building, sorry.
yeah,
we still have a
we're
couple
not
years left.
insane.
We have a
We're
couple years
just
left on this one.
A little crazy. We're not
Yes.
insane.
Yeah.
So I've collected some questions from people, and so we're going to go through what we've done first, and then what our plans are, and then we're going to answer some questions that we've had friends ask, or people, other customers that come in here,
Viewers and stuff.
and
So,
viewers. So we're going to, So first thing, what have we done? So what was the first thing we did?
First
Reveal
thing-
of the
the
ceiling,
first
I
thing
guess,
we
right?
did was put up some scaffolding
Yeah.
and look to see what we're dealing with the ceiling, and we hit the ceiling jackpot, and
Yes,
we
we
have
did.
an amazing tin ceiling. So the amount of work involved in tearing down the multiple drop ceilings and all of the infrastructure put up to hold up those drop ceilings, that took a long time.
It was crazy,
Um,
and we had some help.
we had some
So-
friends come out and give
our
us
friend
hands.
from Ontario, Dave. Good job, dude. He came and he helped us, and
Yeah.
then Brian, another friend from Ontario that we didn't actually make until they
Getting here.
started moving here.
But yes, so we had and other friends that are from here. We had
James,
all sorts
Steve.
of help, people coming in and
Yeah.
making it possible to do what we did. So then we were just getting everything painted, and we will put some shots of the finished ceiling here. I don't know exactly where. Maybe
The-
over top of us.
Yeah,
We'll see.
yeah. And I'll put a link below for all of the different videos that we're talking about the things today. So like there's a ceiling video and there's a wall video and blah,
Yeah.
blah, 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 blah. So I'll post those not behind.
In the description.
In the description, below, that's
Yeah.
the word, below.
So the ceiling was a huge thing, and the thing is,
Yes.
a thing with the ceiling is, they dropped these ceilings a long time ago. The first drop ceiling wasn't really low, but it probably 70, 80 years ago. So not many people are alive and out and about that remember what the original ceiling looked like.
Yeah.
Then in the 80s or 90s, they put the second drop ceiling down. And that's what most people remember of this. This was a thrift shop, and it looked like
Office,
an office
sort of.
commercial drop ceiling, and it was low. It was about, it was 12 feet high.
With the tube lighting.
About 11 or 12, and it was just, it was what it was, unremarkable. So the difference is in the space is the ceiling, because we had, during some of our renovations, we had a delivery person came in and they were dropping off something, and they just said, "Whoa, what is this place? Is this a museum?" And I was like, "Yes, we're winning right now," because it did not look nice like a museum. It was in rough shape, but they could see the bones. They could see that there's grandeur in the form that this building originally had. So we did a lot of work for. We didn't do a very good job of filming the trim work that we did, because when we took down the secondary drop ceiling, we had to
Yes.
fix all of the windows and redo the windows and but altogether it feels like mighty again.
It does. Like, people walk in here and I get a lot of, wow, this is crazy, or oh my gosh, I was not expecting this. Because from the outside,
Yeah.
it does sort of look like a meth den.
So it's going to be kind of like we're going to be blowing like people's surprise levels when the outside looks nice. It's going to make the inside not seem as cool, but
I think it'll still
we'll
be as
deal.
cool.
We'll deal. But yeah, so it's been like the size of the space. We made sure to put enough lighting up and enough features. Did we do a video? No, we didn't do a video of putting the canoe up. We didn't have time for
No.
filming.
It
but
was crazy though.
in our film tour, the tour of the shop as done, we go over, like we put all these features so that people look up and they notice these details, and it's worth it. It's really worth it. So, you know, that was the big first one.
Yeah, and I've had people come in like 2 or 3 times and they've only noticed the canoe on like the 3rd visit.
Yeah.
And they don't believe me that it's been there. Like the
Yeah.
other 2 times that they were in. It's like, no, seriously, it's been there since we opened.
That just means we did a good job merchandising and they notice the stuff we're trying to sell first.
Yes, and they don't look up.
So that was number one. The ceiling was the big first project. That was the first thing that we
Yeah.
were excited about. And it was also the first in the steps of what have to happen because of the scaffolding and the fact that we needed the floor space underneath it to be clear for
Yeah.
us to get to the ceiling to do the work. So that was our first priority, and that's what we spent the first several months on, really.
Yes, yeah. Because we did have things in here. So we do talk about this later in the video a little more with one of the questions. But we did have to like unload all of our things, and we were buying merchandise for the store at the same time as the renovations were happening. So
Yeah.
it was really difficult to have space that you could renovate
Mhm.
and space to store all of the things we were buying,
So-
because we knew we had to have a
Well-
full store.
And when we came in here with all of our own personal items,
Yes.
let's say you have a box, and in that box is your yearbooks, and you don't want to throw away your high school yearbooks. So it goes in one corner, and then you work on the other corners, and then you have to work on that corner, and it goes. So you move that box to a different corner, and then you.
We'll talk about that later
it-
when we answer the actual.
But there was a lot of
question.
it was just the steps. The ceiling had to be number one.
Yeah, there was a lot of moving of things to do a small job, and then move the things back to that area, and
And
yeah, it
there
was
will
just-
be a lot more effect.
Yeah, there really will.
So
All right, so then after the ceiling, well, really at the same time as the ceiling,
yeah.
the back wall.
So,
So 16 feet
Yeah.
forward from the actual building back wall, we built this back wall that you can see behind us.
the big blue beast.
So we could have storage and an office behind that wall. So we needed somewhere to store all of the merchandise that wasn't on the floor, and somewhere where
And-
Dave or I could work while the other person was in the store.
And an area to do the photography,
Yes,
and hopefully we'll do a little set for vlogging and stuff like that there
Yes,
as well.
yeah.
But basically, yeah, the office space we needed a space for office for organization, and so we did. At the same time, we realized, hey, that's a 16-foot tall ceiling. So for half of the space back there, we actually have put up a secondary
Like
level.
a loft.
So there's a lofted area that's
Yes.
about 15 feet by 16 feet,
Mhm.
and there's yet to be stairs going up to said loft, but
They're coming.
they're coming.
They're coming.
And
There's stuff up there,
there's
but you need a
stuff up
ladder
there.
to get up there.
So this is our way of making more functional space.
Mhm.
Like in the back section there, the office will have about 600 square feet of usable space, which
Yes.
means we should be able to make it very comfortable for both photography, inventorying, processing, doing, and office stuff in general. So, yeah.
And hopefully maybe a secondary main floor bathroom, like a bathroom for us. So there could be a public and then a secondary bathroom. But that'll be like down the road.
Yeah.
And maybe even like a little kitchenette back there, just so we don't have to go up to the apartment to like microwave something for lunch or whatever.
We already have we have a really,
Little coffee station.
we have a coffee station
Yeah.
and there's a microwave and a tiny bar fridge, but they're all just kind of in a pile in a space. It's not set
really
up.
set up.
So
Yeah.
down the road, it'll happen. Not a big rush on it. Basically, we just had to get our business open first.
Yeah.
All right, so that's number 2, I think.
Yeah, so then we did build another wall.
We
We
did.
built out, to my right over here, there's a bathroom, and beside the bathroom, there was almost like a little nook that used to be a kitchen when the Salvation Army had this place at one point. And we wanted to do new stairs to the basement. So we haven't done the stairs yet. Right now, it's just kind of an extra space going to
Yeah.
the bathroom. To your right-hand side, there's like a little kind
Ba-
of hallway.
Yeah.
So that will be steps to the basement at one
Yes.
point. But right now, we're just using it as like a storage area.
And the steps to the basement are necessary because the
steps
stairs
that
that
were
are here,
yeah.
they actually are only about 2.5 feet wide, and there's plumbing going, the main
takes
vents
up
go
about
down, or
8
main stacks
inches.
go down the drains. So you basically have about 24 inches of actual space to go down, which I cannot take cabinets downstairs to fix them. I
Yeah,
can't.
yeah.
This is the downstairs will be the workshop, and right now the only thing that can go down the workshop is things that can flatten, or I have to take it outside the building all
And
the
go
way
down
around.
the stairs from the outside, which is a real pain in the butt.
And the stairs from the
But-
outside are very dangerous.
Yes, you should talk about what you've been doing in the basement though. You've
Okay,
done a
yes,
lot of stuff
true.
in the basement.
In the basement, basically the goal for the basement is for it to become a workshop where we can be creating some furniture out of old wood, like all of the wood I took from the ceiling, that had all the wood with character was kept. We're
Yeah,
going to be
we've
building.
tried to actually keep as
Oh,
much
yeah.
of the things, like all of the renovation materials that we've like been taking off the building,
Yeah, the
we've
reusable
been,
stuff we're keeping.
like keeping.
Yeah.
Even like the flooring that we'll get into in a minute that we took up, like we threw away the old grubby carpet, but we actually kept
Yeah,
the vinyl
'cause
flooring.
It will go in the basement because
Yeah.
it's not vinyl, but it is. Yeah.
Oh, it's like a, yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna put. We've got plans. Like we just don't want to waste because
Yeah.
it's a massive amount of material and it's a lot to go to the dump that doesn't need to because it's
Yes.
not pretty, but it's usable. So in
But
the
yes,
basement,
I
what I was trying
interrupted,
to do, my main goal for the basement, this building has a very solid foundation. What it doesn't have is water mitigation. So the foundation's solid, but water will stream in. It's fieldstone to foundation. It streams in.
And half of the basement, or
And
more than
sometimes-
half of the basement is,
Just
Dirt.
wood, or sorry, just dirt. Yes.
yeah, just dirt.
And so what I've been doing is digging and trenching, and where there is concrete, I've been breaking the concrete up and trenching down about 2 feet and putting a French tile in the weeping tile along the edge, and bringing that to a pit that I dug down to about 4 feet, and put a sump pump and a bucket and a float switch and all those fun things. And I've now reliably have the basement clearing away its own water. But I still have to finish trenching about half of the basement. And once I'm finished trenching it, I gotta dig the dirt part down a bit more, bring in gravel, cement, do the whole. We'll be splicing in some photographs of what has happened here.
Yes.
It's a lot of work. It's very physical and
Yeah.
painful.
And we've had a lot of rain.
Oh yeah, welcome
So,
to Yarmouth. There's lots of
yeah,
rain.
Yes, which is totally okay. Like we're
Yeah.
okay with it. We love Yarmouth, but it's hard to be digging when it's so wet and gross down there. So
Yeah.
we almost have to wait until there's like a couple
dries
nice
out a bit.
days. And then being in the basement digging dirt is like the last place you want to be on a nice day in Yarmouth.
So what we need is some, 20-year-olds that think digging is hilarious and fun, and for them to come down and
And they hate sunshine.
and they hate sunshine, and we put them in the basement and they dig.
Yes.
But yeah, so that's
Yeah.
that.
We'll see
So
if
so
that
it's,
happens.
we are moving on that, and it hopefully within the next few months I'll have that going, and over the winter I can do the cement work, and then I will be able to start offering services that like I really want to start offering framing services. It's something that they don't have a lot of here, and I have a good history with it. So yeah, sounds like
Yeah,
fun.
he really has a knack for it. Like you're really good at
So
choosing frame versus.
so yeah,
Yeah.
it'll be fun. That like, but and I love going down and just building stuff. So that's in the future.
Yep.
All right, and what else do
So
we?
then, also on the main floor here, so to get ready for the store opening, my parents actually came and we did a lot of painting, like a lot of painting.
Mhm.
So that couldn't happen though before the windows went in. So
Mhm.
the windows were ordered, what, probably 3 months after we got here?
They were ordered, yeah, around there. Yeah.
And then how long did it take?
It took
Like,
about 6 months for the
6
windows
months?
to be made,
Mhm.
and then another
'Cause they
month.
are 3 by 9 feet.
Yeah. Exactly.
So it's not like something we could run to like Kent and buy windows.
Very custom,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
so we ended up having those made, and then we took another 3 weeks to a month to find a contractor who had the time to install them.
And then that was a chore because the original windows were still in the building. So they had never been changed. The
170 years
Yeah.
of sitting there doing their business, and
And well.
most of them did well,
Very
but
well.
one of them was completely covered by plywood,
and then
then
another half a
yeah,
window.
and then there was other ones that had done their job well, but then they dropped half an inch, and there was
Yes.
just a giant half-inch space of air flowing through, which was great last winter.
Yeah, it was a fun winter when, like, David actually, God bless you, because he like put up all the plastic with the tape along the edge to like really seal so we didn't have drafts. But there were so many areas in the window that were open to the outside, or the windows, not just one, but the plastic would blow off
Because
it was just
the
so
wind,
much air
the
coming
wind
in.
coming off the Atlantic Ocean
Yes.
is a little strong, and
Yeah.
when we had the wind can get very high around this area, and
Yeah.
when it gets up there, like I had the vapor barrier up with 2-inch outdoor carpet tape, very solidly
my
sealed,
gosh. And it
and
was still blowing
but
off.
if you have 100-kilometer-an-hour winds blowing outside, and you've got a good half-inch space that runs 3 feet across, with that, yeah, it's a lot of pressure, and tape doesn't stand, and it was very frustrating, very frustrating.
Yes.
But
So it was a chilly winter here. The
expensive
Yeah.
winter.
and our new heating system, which is a 5-ton
Heat pump.
heat pump that is ducted. That was a lot of fun to put in. They had to cut new holes in the floor, and our floors are very thick.
And I will show, there's a cross section that we'll have, I'll put a picture of in here, that it's 3 inches. It's 3
Yeah.
solid inches of
It
wood.
burned out a couple saws, or
It
a
burned
saw.
out. It burned out one of the battery operated. Like no, there was a single 5 amp hour battery was used every single hole.
Yes.
It took almost 1 hour for every hole that was cut in the floor. It made us feel good about the structural integrity of this building because
Yeah.
it's not going anywhere.
The contractor, the young guy that was cutting those holes, oh my gosh, he was just a sweating.
And you get calls, "Aren't you done yet?" And he's like,
like,
you come here and you
"No."
do this. It's like, it was not
So
fun.
they actually at one point did come to check on him, and he was like sweating.
Oh, yeah.
Like he was working his tail off for
Yeah,
us.
it was great.
It was amazing.
But
yeah, we had that thing like cranked this winter.
yeah,
It was not a
And-
cheap heating winter.
no.
We spent a lot of money to stay kind of warmish, and kind of.
But this year, like the minute we put these new windows in,
Oh, huge difference.
all different. So
Huge.
we're really looking forward to this winter being able to maintain a temperature that's different than
That
the
would be
outside.
great.
That's going to be fun.
Yes.
Okay, so
Having
then
like 3 sweaters on was not cool, especially when you're trying to do stuff. So yes, we did. Then once the heating pump and the windows were in, my parents came for like a month before we actually opened the store, so they helped paint, and that was
and to paint, and they helped build the walls. Actually, helped do this trim, and
Yep.
helped. We did we took the floor up. There was we had to
Yes.
take the carpet. There's 2 levels of click flooring,
Yes.
and then carpet, and rip the carpet up, and there was a lot of glue.
A lot of glue.
So we got a floor sander, and we drum sanded the entire floor, and we didn't go really far. We just took the
No.
glue off, and we got to the top. We don't want this to look new. We want this to look
Yeah.
like it's been around for a long, long time, which it has.
And you can actually see the history of the usage. Like you can see where the runners between the pews were. You can see the popular walking spots. Like I really love that about our floors. We didn't
Yeah.
sand away the history or the story.
No.
We just cleaned them up a bit.
So now they're not like
Yeah.
there was we got rid of the glue, and well, there's actually probably still some glue remnants, but you know what, it's smooth.
Yep, it's nice and smooth now. It looks really good. We actually get a lot of compliments on the floor.
Yeah.
But it's not shiny pretty.
No.
It's antique gift store pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we will insert here a bunch of some clips of the floor.
Yeah.
And yeah, you'll be able to see I like it. Some people, it's not everyone's taste. We have some people who come in and say,
Oh,
"Well,
when
what-
are you gonna refinish
when are you
the
gonna
floors?
when are you gonna do these floors?" And we're like,
Yeah, they're done.
It's done.
They're done.
You know,
Yeah.
if we wanted a new building, we would have had a new building. And there are some spots in the back where there was a lot of damage. Actually, there used to be a raised dais in the back. It's behind the wall there, but where that dais was is actually just chipboard. So in that back space, in the back office, we are going to have to put new flooring down.
And we might reuse some of the click floor.
No,
You don't think so?
I want it to look nice. So
The
that
click floor isn't horrible.
no,
I just have to say.
you know, but it's, not
just not.
good. So, but I would like it
standard.
also to be
Yeah.
more durable, because we're going to be
Yes.
moving furniture in and out, and
True.
and down the road, if we decide to do something else with that space, if we decide, hey, we want to turn that into our living space or something, right? Who knows? We want to keep we want to keep the options open. I'd rather do the floor properly with hardwood rather than just with what we got, because I'll just
Sure.
live with what we got now, and then until we can do it right.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. I was just thinking of reusing what we have. But
I'm
anyway.
reusing what we have in the basement. We're good.
Yes, so I do have to give a heads up too. I didn't mention when we were talking about the ceiling that because we were really busy doing other renovations, we haven't really like subbed out many of the jobs around here. We've been doing them DIY, like the two of us or two of us with friends.
Other than plumbing and electrical.
Yes, because those are the serious ones that we do not want to mess up.
Oh, and window
And then,
install.
yeah, we had someone come
Yeah.
and a group of guys did the windows for us because we had never done windows, so that was handy too. But we did have, we made a connection with a local painter named Donna, and her company is
Restyle Renovations.
Yes, highly recommend Donna. She's amazing. But her and her son came and did our ceiling for us
Yes.
in like 2 days.
Yeah.
They were awesome. They used the scaffolding we already had. One was on the ground or on like the ladder.
yeah.
One was on scaffolding. and they just got it done.
Yeah.
And seriously,
And what-
we would have taken
What took
how long?
Well, what took
Like-
them 2 days would have taken us 2 weeks
Oh, yeah,
easily,
for
because
sure.
we don't know what we're doing comparatively.
Yes,
And they just did a great job. So we
Yeah.
are.
And she also did some of the walls down here. When we first opened the Christmas pop-up, we got her to do the lobby of like the entryway of the building, and that was really handy too.
Oh,
Yeah, you
that's
forgot about that.
that the entry. No, I didn't forget about that. But we didn't have on our list to talk about
the tile.
entryway. One
Yes.
of the main things when you walk through the door.
I
Jill
actually forgot
Jill
about
took a huge amount of time and effort, and she made.
days and days.
She took the floor when you came in was just
Like,
old and yucky.
Yeah.
So we ripped it out and put new subfloor down, and she did a penny tile detail
In black and white.
in black and white that has the name or the address of the building on it. And then a few little artistic flourishes in the corner, but
Yes, we have nice borders and then a couple little fishies in the corner.
and it looks proper to when the front part of the building had been renovated, which is the early 1900s. So it's the proper time frame for a floor like that. So when you walk in, you get a feeling of antiquity, and you get a feeling of care and craft. And so Jill spent a good week solid
Yes.
laying it out, cutting everything, mortaring. We had some hiccups in that too, but we have a
funny
video which will be
now.
linked in the description.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
anyways, that is actually a very important part
Yep.
of this renovation, because it sets the tone for
Yeah,
when people
and
walk
when
in.
people walk in, it's a really great feel. Like just stepping off like the wood step from outside and off the sidewalk and the concrete to like this beautiful, like when you walk on it, there's like a click that's like really nice, and it just feels really good to walk in and have this like beautiful tile floor that you walk in on.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think
Yeah.
it really adds to the wow when you
Yeah.
come in the space.
So yeah, is there anything else we've missed? I don't think
We've done
got
a
most
lot of
it.
like little things, like we redid the doors, we put in French doors, we redid the bathroom, we put in new toilets, and
some
all these
demo
little
in other parts of
things.
the building, but nothing.
Yeah.
But nothing of real significance has been finished in any of those areas.
Yeah, no, not yet.
So
Yeah.
we're getting there on the
Yeah.
rest, but those are I think the main selling points.
Yep.
So I'm going
So-
to let's move on to the next bit.
We'll cut off here,
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
and then, yeah, come back to it.
Oh,